Everyone. Welcome. I feel like a freaking veteran. My goodness. Um, I'm experiencing crypto like crazy. So we have this new blockchain and all these new things are happening and people are so active and there's so many new things to put your money in and there's also old existing things. And then on top of that, there's the rest of cryptocurrency that is finding out about our blockchain and how we've been solid. Today, Solana went down again, and it's just another opportunity for us to say, hey, we've had 100% complete uptime. And then our founder, Richard Hart, you can find more about him at richardhart.com, or you can go to HEX.search.io and type in any phrase and see whenever it is that he said that same phrase on a YouTube video of some sort. Just scroll through it and click on it and start learning, because the guy doesn't make mistakes when he talks. Like, a lot of us get in front of the camera and in front of the mic, and we make mistakes when we talk. We say the wrong bit of information. We trip over our words. We say things not in the right order. But he doesn't do that. Surprisingly, he must have had a lot of time to refine himself, right? So, who is Richard Hart? He's a guy who got into Bitcoin when it was $30, I think. Yeah, he got into Bitcoin when it was $30. He was mining it. He was buying it also. He was also retired at that time. He had already run businesses. And so he's studied a lot of this stuff, and he just has the nature to organize, to be an architect, to create things. And so he's leading the way. And there is some thought out there about the SEC and him, but don't allow that to screw up any ideas of investigating yourself into what it is that we've been a part of. This hex crypto that I'm trying to allow people to understand, especially in the Austin area. This is for you, MeetUp people in the Austin area. I'm going to forward this video to you guys here whenever it's done. There's probably 60 people in that group, and you're in multiple other crypto groups because you're trying to learn about crypto. But this hex crypto, it allows you to stake and earn the yield. And you earn that yield in hex tokens. So it always happens to be that the cost basis is always based on when you buy it on the market, and when you sell it on the market is your profits, right? But what's great about this is it's you and the contract. It's completely honest when you want to get in and when you want to get out, and it's a time locking feature. So it punishes you if it is that you need to cancel early, and it rewards you just fine if it is that you stay in for the time period that you said you would. So it's like it's banking. It's a certificate of deposit, but it's banking on the blockchain. So me and all of my crypto bros, we're all doing the same thing, and it's almost like we all have a 401k in the same thing. And it's a way that technology is well fitting to our day-to-day life, our year-to-year life, our family life, because it is responsible. And if it is that some of our guys act up and they need to pull out for some reason, they get less and you get more. Because where do those penalties go? That they receive the penalties, where do they go? It goes to you. So I pulled up some beer. This is actually Austin Beer Works. And then I also got some tacos. I've had a hell of a day on the blockchain, and so I'm just celebrating it. Look at those tacos. Oh, and they gave me a pale lime. That's pretty interesting. Normally, I don't get those. Oh, it's because I got the al pastor today. That must have come with it. Okay, so I got the prices down below here. So Hex is at 1.5 cents right now. That's the Hex on the Pulse chain blockchain, which is the newer blockchain. And then there's another Hex that was the original Hex on the Ethereum blockchain. And I'm sure you've heard about Ethereum. Um, Bitcoin is your number one coin. It's the oldest. Um, it's the largest market cap, and it's also the most expensive. And then second, market cap wise, is Ethereum, created by Vitalik Buterin, who is I think a Russian guy. He's pretty young. I always say that he's the nerd. He doesn't really look at blockchain as a financial thing. However, he is living off of his tokens and stuff. And the Bitcoin was created by a guy who stayed anonymous, and it was created amongst multiple people, not only that one guy. So Satoshi Nakamoto is the anonymous name, the alias. Hey, if you got it, drink it, have fun. Because if you want to ask me some questions in the chat, go for it. Um, Also, if you're on the replay team and you want to ask me questions in the comment section, go ahead. I'll field those as well. But yeah, I'm so excited where we are. You can tell that it's a new season inside blockchain, and there's just plenty of opportunities to make yourself available, useful, to diversify. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna get hot talking. Yeah, so I'm up in Georgetown, Texas. So that's north of you if you're in Austin. And then after these Tuesday nights that I do these streams, where it's just basically just a monologue, I joined the Bitcoiners because the Bitcoiners are having a meeting right after this. And there's a guy named Paul Snow. You can find him on Twitter. And you can also find his thing on, it's like Bitcoin Meetup Austin or something like that, on meetup.com. You can find that in order to join us in the next hour. So here in 10 minutes, he's going to start his thing for 2 hours. So that's from 7 to 9 local time. And Paul Snow, he has been in Bitcoin for a long time. He got into Bitcoin in like 2015, and he's owned a lot of Bitcoin in his life, and he's sent and donated and sold, I guess maybe not sold, but like he's used Bitcoin for the function of money a lot in his life. And he's also testified in front of Congress about blockchain technology. So the guy is well experienced. He's also a creator. In fact, here's a funny story, and then we'll maybe be done with talking about Paul while he's not here. Down there in downtown Austin, there is a Bitcoin hangout place, and I forget what it's called, but let's just call it like Bitcoin Workshop, right? Where they just meet up and they just work on projects around Bitcoin. Well, he thought that he would have a in-person meetup after COVID stuff. Excuse me. Down there at that place. Well, they wanted to know who he was whenever he entered the foyer with a group of guys asking if they could use a meeting room. And they Googled his name real fast, and they found out that he was a founder of something that wasn't Bitcoin. And they got really pissed off and kicked him out of the place. And so they went down to the beer garden down the street. So that was something that I missed out on in person. But they had a cell phone with them that they set up at the end of the table so they could tell me that story once they were at the beer garden. It's hilarious. Because Bitcoin is tribalism, and blockchain. There's a lot of blockchain that is tribalism, and so I'm a part of the Hexican tribe, which is the Hex crypto tribe. And as I've told you, there's Pulse Chain, which was founded by the same guy who created Hex crypto, and so Hex crypto has been around for 4 years, and we're going through so many stages of there were the first people in, and they went and they staked long, and they staked short. They made their ladder all throughout a 15-year period. And then came other people that found it whenever it started gaining in price. And so we had this price go from 0 to 50 cents. And then so that attracted a lot of people. So some folks bought it at, like 20 cents when it was showing off, 30 cents, 50 cents. And then it starts coming back down. And then so there were folks in that time period, and they call themselves the second round of Hexicans, because they found out because of all the hype that we were having. And then came this announcement for Pulse Chain was going to be created, which is the new blockchain. And whenever it is that Richard Hart, the founder, creates something new, in this case, he had it to where there was a sacrifice. And a sacrifice is a way to, it's a terminology used so that you aren't having expectations, or there's no defined lines that you're going to get anything in return. And instead you're donating, hoping to then get something in return. So there was this point system. So every time you sacrificed $1, you would get 10,000 points. And it ended up being that those points turned into coins. So you got that amount, but it wasn't by law that you were going to receive these, if you know what I mean. And then there was a second sacrifice after the Pulse Chain one. There was a Pulse X one. And so Pulse Chain was the blockchain, Pulse X was the exchange. And so both of these coins now exist, and they've arrived in people's wallets, and people are trading them, and their prices are fluctuating, but Pulse Chains have stabilized, and then Pulse X's haven't stabilized just yet. And so we're, I don't know, 250 days in, 260 days in, something like that. So we're coming around on a year, like in in June, I think. So what else is going on? Inside the Hex community, we created this group that was Hex Postcards, where we did some outreach. And so we took donations from the community, and we created these postcards with artwork, and sometimes we held competitions, and we would send these out to folks. And our strategy was to send them out to the most wealthiest zip codes in the United States. The United States specifically, only because that's what one of our Hexicans did for a living. But he was limited to only the United States with his product. So we got heavily discounted postcards, and they were very high quality. And so my buddy who created this group, he disappeared off the scene for a little while, went back to work basically, because he had a young kid and wife. And now he's back on the scene. He's still in the background. He hasn't really brought himself up in front of folks besides the inner group. But I'm so excited to have him back because he is a awesome guy, and Hex isn't the same without him, in my opinion. So we're gonna get back. We're getting the gang back together again, and I'm really happy about that. So expect some stuff from Hex Postcards. And then also I've learned a lot about marketing and how to simplify talking about blockchain. You know, what we're doing here is basically just creating free bank accounts and having it to where people can acquire some crypto and earn a yield on it, earn some interest on it. And right now is a prime time with all the things that are happening on the world. Folks are looking for places to place their money. And so there's a lot of people coming around, and it's a fun time to be in crypto. There's tons of interest. I'm seeing tons of people come into MeetUp. I'm seeing tons of people come into the Bitcoiner stuff. I'm seeing all these influencers on YouTube looking around and saying, hey, I identify with these Hexican people. Hey, I should do some live streams about their new blockchain. So we've had, in the early days of the blockchain release, we had a lot of struggles of, okay, so you're an influencer and you've been talking about one thing for a long time, and now you're starting to talk about 3 or 4 different things. Have you really vetted it? And have you really been looking out for your followers? Because you're leading them straight into something that you're not so sure is going to work. Some of the folks, they just stay quiet about what it is they get themselves into. I've done a little bit of speculation, like $1,000 here or there, $500 here or there. And it's all because like I can somewhat see that this has a use case, or this has a speculative possibility of arriving at a higher position, like a higher value over the course of many years. That's the sort of speculation that I'll do, where I think that $1,000 will turn into 100,000 or possibly 1,000,000. I'm okay putting something away for that. But keep in mind, I'm speaking from a Hex OG, where I've experienced 100x before. You know, I've experienced 1,000x before. I didn't exactly pick the bottom of a chart and pick the top of a chart like a lot of people like to say. In that case, they would say that it was a 10,000x. But so what I'm saying is, this speculation that I'm willing to do, it's me diversifying, and I'm comfortable with it. And I've also taken security, you know, put stash stuff away that I don't touch at all, because everybody needs to have their rules of how they play with money. You know, I'm not going to the casino and blowing my dough. And I'm especially not going all in and saying, oh man, if only I knew like I could immediately double my money, I'd go all in. That's a foolish way of thinking. Okay, so the best thing that I can do is introduce people to Richard Hart, the creator of this blockchain, the creator of this coin, because he's created content that is called evergreen content, and that's where you create something that never gets old, that always has it's always a life lesson that can be applied. And so if you go to Richard Hart on YouTube and maybe even Facebook, you can find some stuff about him. richardhart.com is his main website. And then, like I said earlier in this video, HEX.search.io is a great way to if you're just pondering something, just type it into that little search bar that looks like a Google search bar and press enter, and boom, all of these videos, the script has been written on these videos to where anytime it finds that exact name, it'll bring it forward. That exact term, it'll bring it forward. It's really nice. Oh, what else do I have to talk about? Here's something I really want to get around to is the 3D printing that I had started and I kind of made a pause on. I cannot wait to get these bad boys on some cars. So the solar panel goes right here, and then this is where the magnet goes. And the idea is that that's a car topper lighting up. And then so the motion sensor happens right here and the on and off switch. And then I'll get somebody down the street who owns a print shop to put the hex colors on this. But this is what a hex logo looks like. And see, it's graduating larger hexagons up and to the right because that's how a chart is. But this is also how your funds should grow, right? Your amount of crypto should grow as the time goes. Your holdings. What else do I have to talk about? So, in case you didn't know, I created, this is Richard right here. I created some certificates so that you can onboard some folks. And you can put your email address here, and then there's instructions to set up a MetaMask wallet so that they can receive some stakes that you send them. So with the Hedron system, you could stake Hex and then turn it into an NFT and then send it to their wallet. So that's a cool onboarding tool. If, let's see, down here where my name is, it's down below that. It's supposed to say mail HEX.xyz, which is a website that I created probably a month, 2 months ago. And so the idea is like, I've been sending direct mail out to people. And so it's just a little bit different than what the Hex Postcards group has been doing. And then so I'll send out those certificates, stickers, magnets, maybe magnets for your car, like really high quality ones that I get from Sticker Mule. And then also business cards. Business cards are freaking awesome. And so I want to show y'all, every once in a while when I move in this chair, it sounds like I'm farting, right? So that's what that is. So if you want to introduce Pulse Chain to folks, please send them over to DeFiPuzzle.xyz, and they'll be met with this this image. Inside of this image are 12 seed words. So they're 12 seed words that are conveyed in this image. The 12 seed words will open up a wallet that has 1 million hex inside of it. 1 million hex right now is worth like $15,500. So it's well worth looking at, and it's a great teaching opportunity because some folks, they think that it's going to be easy to hack, like get into. Some folks think that it's completely impossible. Some folks think that because I created this, people are trying to get into wallets, and they will get into wallets that are going to have funds in them, and they're going to drain them. So they're like, oh, I feel sorry for whoever could get hacked because of this. But no one's admitted to finding wallet, and no one's even said that, oh, I see a lot of my words in here. So there's with wallet security, in case you're absolutely new to crypto, there are hardware wallets and there are software wallets. And the hardware wallets are ones that you can unplug from your computer and have it to where, okay, now you're safe from being hacked. With the software wallets, which is what this is, there's only 12 words. And the 12 words have to be they have to be 12 of 2048 possible words, because it's code. So there's only a finite amount of possibilities. Now the possibilities are huge, but it's still finite. So if you go to this website, there will be links there in order to tell you about Hex, about Pulse Chain, about Richard, about the 2048 possible words. And those are on Pulse Chain, which is the new blockchain. They're not on Ethereum. So it's kind of funny, like whenever some people say like, oh, well, there's nothing has been on that at all. And it's like, yes, it has. Just go and look on the Pulse Chain network, not the Ethereum network. And then here's a cute little sticker I made for it. I haven't gotten any feedback from these yet because they're still en route in the mail to people, but I really like them. I wanted to play around with this because I was influenced with this because Fashion Coder, when I met her in Austin, she had gotten these. Little Fashion Coder. Thanks, Fashion Coder. Shout out. And I had done these reflective stickers before, because here's one from back in the day. Some people love skulls. So this is a skull kind of like pinning a $100 bill. I had some of these on the side of my truck. Not stickers, but magnets. And they ended up doing really well. If you go to stickermule.com, you can get 10 samples for $10. They're amazing. And that right there is about 9 square inches for that price. So if you change up it like this was in that range, right? But this was too big. This cost me probably like $19 per 10. And the magnets run the same as the stickers. Drink them if you got them. Smoke them if you got them. Oh gosh. I've been listening to Crypto Wonder lately. That guy he's got some years on me, but he has got some words of wisdom, and I love hearing it. And the way that his words of wisdom relate to the blockchain, he's freaking awesome. Crypto Wonder. Shout out to that guy. And then Trap and Kef, who were on this channel last. Shout out to those guys. And then also my friend and his wife, who did the very last video that was posted today. They're doing homesteading in the city. And so she makes butter. And then he was talking a little bit about staking his ladder. And we're just going to go from there. We're going to figure out how this works. And then so like they're going to create the videos. They're going to do it their own style. They have access to the YouTube. They can just post it up. It's going to be awesome. Let's go check out the comments. Richard's Bros here. Wall to Wall. What's up? Glenn. What's up? Tin Top. Sweet. Got a whole round. Wall to Wall says that day one lobby price was almost 1 cent. Yeah, because the first year of Hex, there was a fair launch of some sort, right? And so the Bitcoiners were able to claim their free Hex based on how much Bitcoin they had in the wallet that they did a signature for. So they didn't have to give up their Bitcoin. It was kind of confusing to some of the Bitcoiners. They thought that they had to like give up Bitcoin in some way or give up their identity or something like that. No, all you had to do was claim it. And then the Ethereum folks, they had just recently gotten so many Ethereum at the launch of Ethereum. So the idea was like, okay, well, you're going to give up your Ethereum. So that, and it was on the Ethereum blockchain, Hex was. So they anteed up amounts of Ethereum each day. And I had to go and buy Ethereum in order to participate. And so you ante it up, you throw it into a pot every day. And depending on what ratio yours was compared to the total, is how much Hex you got kicked into your wallet at the end of the day. So that end of day is still the same end of day today, whenever it is that your stakes become due, or whenever it is that you start a new stake. That is the exact same time period. And I forget if it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock for our time here in Austin, PM. And so there, in the very first days, there was a little bit of a FOMO. So Richard tried to help people by doubling the amount of Hex that was available that first day, because he knew that there would be a FOMO, and he told people not to FOMO. I wish that he told us not to participate at all on first day, because we all thought the price was going to go. Is that up and to the right? We all thought the price was going to go up and up and up. But really what it did was it went up and it dipped like this. And then down here was day 30 or 40. And then it went steady upward. So yeah, 10 Top's here. He's not a part of the replay team today. So Wall to Wall says that the set is missing a candelabra bent by a drunk girl. Actually, what's behind that hat? It's a single candle holder up against the wall. Hey, Garden, I didn't see you there. Richard's bro says that he picked up the Hex dip. Hey, Bars is here. Hey, Rags is here. Bars, I sent you a care package, and it was while you were over there in Guam. So I would like to know, like, would you like for me to have a new address to send you stuff? And did you make any friends to where I could send you stuff as well? Or I'm sorry, send them stuff. Rags, this is what the emoji looks like to me. So I don't even know what that is. Maybe it shows up on YouTube. I could look at that. So yeah, I'm drinking a Houston beer and an Austin beer. And I sent out some mail yesterday. I've sent off a lot of mail. If you look at my Twitter, you'll find that I sent out a lot of mail in the last week, and I've got a little bit of some maps to edit and get out there. I guess I've been talking quite a bit right here, so I didn't realize that it's already been 35 minutes, and so we're 16 minutes into 7. So I'm going to quit this and go into the Bitcoiner stuff. And then I guess while I'm with the Bitcoiners, I'll be able to eat my beautiful tacos. Look at those. And I've got tons of salsa inside this. So I guess I'll see you guys in another place. I I've already added down in the description uh, these websites that I've talked about, and one of them that you could check out is HEX.pink, where you're able to figure out how much hex you would be interested in staking, and it also shows you the dollar value of those, and for how long. And inside the hex system, you can only stake for 15.2 years, which is 5,555 days. The reason why that is because, like I said before, code is finite, and so we had to set a certain amount, or the designers of the system had to set it to a certain amount. And the idea to that is we're leaving meat on the bone. If it is that people like myself would be able to stake 100 years and really capitalize on being here early, then that would be unfair. It would be way unfair to the people that came later. So please, the land is fertile. Come here and build and grow and stake and see how it is that you don't need anybody in between you and a bank, you and your bank account. You don't need what we call a middleman. You're able to interact with the contracts, with the banking system, if you will, the replacement of the banking system yourself. And there's tons of other people who are doing it, and we all stay anonymous, unless it is that you have some like political reason to say that you own a certain wallet. For the most part, we all stay anonymous and continue to use the system. Garten would like for some people to give them some information about what is the next thing that the Staker app is going to do. For the folks who don't know, the Staker app was one of the first, if not the first, app like in the app store. Like on Android and iPhone, that allowed you to track your stakes, track your entire portfolio. It also had a function where you could have it to where they took care of your wallet security. And so you could set up a wallet with them, and what they got out of it was a little bit of a fee every time that you bought, sold, or referred people. So that actually ended up being a little bit of a downfall, because over time they began to have issues, and now they've basically dissolved their company, and they're trying to roll into phase 2, where they're a bit less involved. So I don't know, because I'm not all up in that. Instead, I only told people to view their portfolio and not actually sign up with it and have it to where you had a wallet with them. Instead, just use it as a viewer. So I'm sorry, I don't know that information. But anybody in the replay team, please comments, and then maybe Garden will be back around to view those. But hey, Bars, I'm not kidding. Like, if you've got a new address to send me, please let me know, because I know that you're out there and active, and you're a good speaker. Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. And if it is that you're in the Austin area, I'm up in Georgetown. I'll gladly take you out to lunch. I live right here in the downtown area, and we can mingle, and you can pick my mind about my experiences with Hex and the blockchain. Okay, cheers.